Welcome back to the channel, guys. In this video we are going to discuss about exponents and roots. An exponent term consists of a base and an exponent. Here 2 is base number and 3 is exponent. Exponent means that you have to multiply the base number exponent number of times. For example, here if you consider 2 power 3, that means you have to multiply this base number 2 exponent number of times, that means 3 times. So we multiplied 2 3 times, that means the value of 2 cube is 8. Similarly, if you take 2 power 5, that means you have to multiply base value 2 5 times. So in this way we can write the value of 2 power 5. Now let's discuss about positive exponents. For example, if you have a base value of 5 and an exponent 1, that means you have to multiply 5, or you have to take 5 one times, that means the value of 5 power 1 is 5. If you have 5 square, that means 5 power 2, we can write it as 5 into 5. Similarly, if you have 5 cube, that means we can write 5 into 5 into 5. For suppose if you have 5 to the power of 0, uh, in this case we don't actually write, we can't multiply 5 any given number of times. So the value of 5 power 0 will become 1. Not only 5 power 0, anything to the power of 0 will become 1. 2 to the power of 0 is 1. 3 to the power of 0 is 1. 4 to the power of 0 is 1. 5 to the power of 0 is 1. Similarly, 100 to the power of 0 is also 1. Whereas in case of positive exponent values, we can take another example like 10 to the power of 1 is 10. 10 to the power of 2 is 10 into 10. 10 to the power of 3 is 10 into 10 into 10. Similarly, 10 to the power of 0 is 1. In this way, the positive exponents work. So now let's see about negative exponents. For example, if you have 5 to the power of minus 1, that means you can write 5 to the power of minus 1 as 1 by 5. Similarly, if you have 5 to the power of minus 2, that means you can write it as 5 to the power minus, 1 by 5 pi square. If you have 5 to the power of minus 3, then you can write it as 1 by 5 cube. That means this value will become 1 by 25, and this will be 1 by 125, and this will remain as 1 by 5. In this way, you can use negative exponents for any given base value. For example, if you take 10 to the power of minus 3, that means you can write it as 1 by 10 cube, which is 1 by 1000. Now let's see how exponents work for negative base values. Negative base value. If you take a if you take a negative base value, that means minus 5 to the power of 1 will become minus 5. Minus 5 to the power of 2 will become, that means minus 5 whole square will become minus 5 into minus 5, which is 25. Minus 5 to the power of 3 will become minus 5 into minus 5 into minus 5, which will be minus 125. Similarly, if you take minus 5 to the power of 0, it will be the value of minus 5 to the power 0 will be 1, as we discussed above. As we discussed previously, a to the power of 0 will be always 1. Either a is a positive or a can be a negative. It doesn't matter if the value of a is either a positive or a negative. It will always give value of 1. Let's see another example for negative base values. Suppose if you take minus 10 to the power of 1, that means this will become minus 10. If you take minus 10 to the power of 2, it will become 100. If you take minus 10 to the power of 3, it will become minus 1000. From this, we can say that if you have a base value with a power of any odd number, for example, if here 1 and 3 are odd numbers, if you have any base value, any base negative value and an odd exponent, then the result will become a negative number. If you have a negative base value and a even exponent, then the answer will become the positive value. For example, if you take 10 to the power of minus 4, then you can write it as 10,000. This is a positive value. If the exponent is even for negative base value, then the result will be a positive number. If the exponent is odd, then the base value will become a negative number. Now let's see how square roots and higher order roots work. We already know that uh, square root of 4 is 2 and square root of 9 is 3. But we should be careful that the square root of 4 can be either plus 2 or minus 2, and square root of 9 is plus or minus 3. Square root means that square root of 9 means that 9 to the power of 1 by 2. If you have cube to the power of root 9, that means 9 to the power of 1 by 3. If you have 5 to the root of 9, that means you can write it as 9 power 1 by 5. In other words, root is inverse to the square. That means the value of square is 5 into 5. But the square root of 4 is, that means 4 to the power of 1 by 2. That means 2. Now let's see an example of a GRE question. He will give the value of A as 4 and he will give the value of B as 2. Sorry, the value of A is square root to the 4 and the value of B as 2. In option A, he says that A is greater. In option B, he says that B is greater. In option C, he says that A and B are equal. In option D, he says that answer cannot be defined. Here, everyone knows that the square root to the 4 is 2. So most people think that the value of A and value of B are equal and keep the answer as C. But here the option C is wrong, because square root of 4 can be either a positive 2 or a negative 2. There is a equal chance. So if the option is 2, if the condition is 2, then we can say that A is equal to B. If the value is minus 2, then B will be greater than minus 2. So in this case, we cannot define the value of A. It can be either a positive value or negative value. We cannot define it exactly. So the correct answer for this question is cannot be defined. Let's see another example of GRE on based on exponents. He will give a condition like this, and he will ask the value of x plus y. Generally, in this kind of expressions, we have to solve as 3 into 2 plus 3 plus 3 into 3 plus 3, sorry, 3 power 3 plus 3 plus 3 power 3. We can write it as 3 square into 3 cube, 3 cube into 3 cube, and 3 cube into 1. This is this can be written as in this way, and this can be written as in this way, and this can be written as in this way. Now, in all these terms, the value of 3 cube is common. So we have to take 3 cube common and solve the remaining equation. That means it will become 9 plus 27 plus 1, which will be equal to 3 cube into 37. Now let's compare this with the given expression. Here the base values are same, 37 to the power 1 and 3 to the power of 3. Here in the given equation, 37 to the power of x and 3 to the power of y. From this, when after comparing these two equations, we can write that the value of x is 1 and the value of y is 3. So the final answer will become x plus y is equal to 1 plus 3. That means 4. In this way, you have to solve the exponent problems in GRE.